So Bleacher Report posted 8 offseason NFL moves that have already backfired. And you know we're going to be on this list, 1000%. But what's funny is there's a lot of different options on why we could be on this list, right? Number one has to be DJ Reader. DJ Reader got hurt at the end of last year. He went into free agency, and based on what we understand and based on what we saw, the Bengals did not think anybody would sign him. They thought that he would remain a free agent and they could get him back for dirt cheap, and that was pretty much that. I mean, for the most part, they didn't really even offer him a realistic contract until he met with the Lions. We kept offering him the lowest offer humanly possible to a point where it was considered disrespectful. And then eventually the Lions was like, oh yeah, we'll give you a chance. We'll bring you in for a workout. And then the Bengals were like, ooh, crap. Let's offer him an actual contract. By then, the Lions just matched the deal. And he probably looked at it like, hey, listen, I have one team that tried to lowball me and try to take advantage of me. And I have another team who actually wanted me on their team. So he went with the team that actually wanted him on their team, which was the Lions. And that's number one, you could say, that got butchered. Number two, Trent Brown obviously didn't work out due to injury. We knew going into the situation that he had injury concerns with the Patriots last year and throughout his career. So that could be a number two. Number three could be going after Jesse Bates and Von Bell, thinking that they were going to be game changers. Four could be not paying T. Higgins. Now that T is back from injury, he's been looking really freaking amazing. Number five, I think that's pretty much that. You could, number five is that. I would say that's pretty much the four I can think of. But when it comes to this, yes, we did make the list, but it's actually not paying Jamar Chase early. So out of all the options I just listed, the four pretty good, reasonable options in my opinion, they chose the one that I really don't think is backfiring too much on us. Now, the reason why they're saying this is because Chase is having a fantastic season. He's looking like one of the best receivers in the NFL, and because of that, he's going to demand a lot of money. And here's my expectation on this. I disagree. I think he will command more money because, yes, he's having a fantastic season. I don't think it's going to be record-setting more, in all honesty, but I think it will definitely be a little bit more. The problem is you got to realize that the salary cap goes up. So $35 million is what we were trying to get him on contract for, and we tried to. We just didn't get it done. They didn't want to give him guaranteed money, or I think it was like the guaranteed. They didn't want to give him too much guaranteed right away. He wanted more guaranteed right away. Nonetheless, though, $35 million is the number that we're going off of, okay? $35 million. That's not going to be the same amount of money. Like $35 million right now is not $35 million at the end of this year. The salary cap keeps going up. TV deals keep going up. Money, like the NFL makes more money. Teams make more money. Salary cap makes more money. So even if, let's say, at the end of the season, I'm projecting he's probably going to want $40 million a year. Okay, that's probably a good estimate. $40 million a year right now is the equivalent to $35 million a year because it's a lot less. The salary cap goes up. Okay, so in reality, yes, he's going to want more money, and on paper, it's going to look like a lot more, and in theory, it is a lot more, but when you really break it down and look at it, it's not a lot more. It's going to be very similar, if not the same. The only difference is the number. But the number, because of inflation of the salary cap, is equal. So I don't really think it's a huge deal. Also, Chase has 2 years left on his contract as well. I think this is a whole bunch of, what's that SpongeBob episode? Hoopla! It's a whole bunch of hoopla to make over a little wide receiver. No, when he has 2 years left on his contract, yeah, it's a lot of the hoopla. I think not paying T. Higgins might be a mistake and might be something that backfires, but Again, he missed some time with injury, so I guess that, is what they're going with. But as always, Bleacher Report, not the smartest company out there, and they definitely could have went with any of the 4 I just listed, or even T. Higgins, which would have been a 5th, and that would have been a backfire, but instead they go with the Chase not getting paid. I'm not saying Chase, at the end of the day, Chase not getting paid, does it impact us? No. Because we're still playing great offense. Chase is still playing great. Everyone's still playing great on offense. Not a big deal. It sucks that we're going to have to pay him more money in the end, but it is what it is, whatever. But, I think this is a nothing burger. I think really the other 5 I listed is actually something that's important. I don't think you really could make the argument there. Browns decide to replace OC Alex Van Pelt with Ken Dorsey. Alex Van Pelt was their OC from 2020 to 2023. He has been there pretty much very successfully for the Brownies with their offense, even when they had Jacoby Brissett. And it's a typical Brownies move. You had a guy who's working out very well, and you replace him. Cowboys decide they can't afford a high-end running back. But they went all in. I'm so confused. Didn't they go all in this offseason? Is that what Jerry Jones said? Raiders decide they're good enough to win now. I don't know if I agree with the whole idea that they're, quote-unquote, said they're good enough to win now. I mean, they went Gardner Minshew. That doesn't scream to me that you're good enough to win now. That screams to me that you want a bridge quarterback for a young guy, and they just don't have faith in Aiden O'Connell. Dolphins decide they don't need a veteran backup. They got Tyler Huntley. Technically, that's a veteran backup. But outside Tyler Huntley, they did have SKYLER Thompson, who is technically a veteran backup. Disagree with this. Patriots decide to invest a little into the offense. Well, I'll be honest, with that offensive line, yeah. You should have probably definitely invested more in the offensive line, but it is what it is. Jets decide that healthy Aaron Rodgers will solve all the problems. Yeah, it's funny because the strict problem really is Aaron Rodgers, and that's what's so ironically funny about the whole situation, is that, that's really their problem. Their defense is fine. Their receivers, I think, are very good. I think their problem is Rodgers throwing interceptions and making bad decisions. Eagles decide to trade Haason Reddick. How is this? Okay, I think, Bleacher Report, you're doing your typical stupid stuff. Shouldn't you say that the mistake is that the Jets trading for Haason Reddick? Because the Jets right now cannot get a contract done with Haason Reddick. And because of that, they have a guy who is sitting out refusing to play, and they wasted a 3rd-round draft pick for this said individual. So I don't know if I agree with this in any circumstance. I understand that, yes, Haason Reddick, the Eagles would love to have Haason Reddick right now, but they also would not like to have the contract that he wanted. So they didn't want to pay him the money that he wanted. And if that's the case, then, again, that makes no sense to me. Because if they didn't want to pay him the money, then they got a 3rd-round pick and didn't have to pay a guy they didn't want to pay. Versus, the Jets, who gave up a 3rd and couldn't get a situation done. I don't know, man. I don't know. Tell me down below your thoughts and opinions. I'll see you guys in the next one.